Good day, everyone. Good afternoon. Happy Valentine's to everyone. I know this is Wednesday. Today is February 15, the day after Valentine's. Kumusta kayong lahat? I hope that you are doing well. And this is Coffee Break with Dr. Michelle. Literally, we're coming at 3 p.m. in the afternoon. Coffee break for many, or tea break, turmeric tea break for you and me. So, whatever you're having, I hope that you take time to listen. I hope you take time to comment. I hope you take time to just tune in to what this episode might be telling you about things. So, this is a series of love and well being. So, the episode that I'm actually trying to reflect about is I plus you I plus U is it equals to boundaries. So, tingnan mo yan. I plus U is equal to boundaries. So, friends, when you hear the word boundaries, what comes to your mind? So, alam nyo, madalas natin itong marinig ngayon. This pandemic, I think it has become a buzzword that, you are already sidestepping my boundaries. Maybe because we're stuck with the people that we love, the people in our family, and many people around, or maybe because of the the thin line between work and home, because we're mostly working from home, so other people will message you late at night and then they expect you to reply also. So it's like, and demanding things from you, so it's like, is she or he trespassing in my personal life? So there's those questions. But let's focus here on loving relationships. But this is also applicable to any kind of relationship. This is applicable to marriage, of course. This is the usual suspect. But this is very applicable to any family relationships. Kayong magkapatid, kayong magnanay, pinsan mo, minsan in-laws mo, di ba? So, interesting pag-usapan yan. So, I have some of you who are here, and please say your comment. Please comment there in the comment section. What are the first thing that comes to your mind when you hear boundaries? Nangyayari ba yan? So, let's orient each other. Ano ba tong boundaries na to? So, I would like you to reflect. So, Dok, hindi naman natin alam yan dati. Dati naman walang ganyan. Alam nyo, di ba? Many people in the older generation, they like saying that wala namang ganyan dati. Meron, wala lang label. Ako, I like saying naman, meron naman ganyan, wala lang label, hindi lang defined. There's just less studies are just done about this. So, please comment what's the thing that comes to your mind when you hear boundaries. And kaya I plus U is equal to boundaries kasi hindi pwede naman na if you are in a relationship, ipapain mo na ng buong buo yung buo mong pagkatao kahit sa anak mo, kahit sa asawa mo. Kasi you don't want to lose yourself in the process. Ang kinin natin, I don't want to lose myself in the process. Friends, ulitin nyo nga yung sinabi ko, put it in the comment section. I don't want to lose myself in the process. Even though we love our families, even though we love our spouses, our partners, even though we love our work, we love our colleagues, we love the people around us, we don't want to lose ourselves in the process. Do you agree with me? So let's try to start. So, what are boundaries? Boundaries are actually healthy limits we set between ourselves and other people. Healthy limits. Take note. Healthy limits. Ayan. Salamat sa mga nagko-comment. I don't want to lose myself in the process. And because that's very true. I don't know if some of you have experienced this minsan, parang tinatanong mo yung sarili mo, lalo na when you have so many things that you're doing, people needs you a lot, um, maybe people at work, people at home, parang yes, you feel good because you're needed. You feel good because you're busy. You feel good because you're doing a lot of things. But in the process, where are you? And I would like you to reflect that. Where are you in the process? Nasan ka in the process? Nasan ka doon sa equation? Because sometimes, because of the too many stressors and the challenges that we are actually encountering, we lose ourselves in the process. We get our thinking gets confounded. Ang dami nating iniisip. There's a lot of voices inside us. I'm not talking about psychotic voices, but there's just a lot of opinion. There's just a lot of suggestion, and there's a lot of standards of how we should be. Are you relating with what I'm saying? So in this thing, there are, so we have to go back to the I and the you, the relationship, people. So either, as I said, either in the workplace, who among you can relate here sa workplace, may mga taong parang gusto niyang saklawan ng buhay mo, gusto niya magdesisyon para sa'yo, pati kung ano oras kang matutulog, di ba? Either in the workplace, either in loving relationships, your marriage, and of course, this is critical in families. Honestly, before I proceed with this, sa Filipino family, hindi natin madalas tanggap itong point ng boundaries. Hindi natin madalas na gusto. Kasi sa atin, halimbawa yung, basta gamit ng kapatid ko, nandyan lang, kukunin ko na. So, meaning, pwede kong hiramin anytime. So, ay, mami ko naman yun eh. Pwede ko naman kunin na lang to. Or the parents, kahit na adults na yung kids mo, I can decide for them. I can decide for them. Walang privacy. Walang privacy sa bahay namin. Lahat kailangan open. So, those are actually boundary issues. So, sometimes in relationships, let's just quantify that we want always to build harmony. Lagi natin gusto maayos. Lagi natin gusto parang it's harmonious. But of course, because these people, kahit na isang pamilya kayo, we have differences. And of course, we have discussions with them. So there's bound harmony. And of course, there's disharmony. There are changes and conflict. May magbabagong sistema, may magbabago sa buhay. Of course, nagkakaroon ng conflict situation dyan. Whether you like it or not, parte yan ng buhay. But honestly, another part of life is differences. Kasi whether you like it or not, kahit isang pamilya kayo galing, magkaiba pa rin kayo ng kapatid mo. Yung nanay mo, iba rin sa'yo yan. But imagine, kadugo mo na sila. Kaya many times, it happens that in marriages, the differences are highlighted because you're living and dealing with a person na hindi mo kadugo. Yung sa pamilya mo, maiintindihan mo pa or magigets mo yung idiosyncrasies or kakongkrongan nila. You're getting my point. Kasi somehow, you have a glimpse of the reality there. Pero with other people, it's just simply to understand how it is for other people because each family have different realities. Each family have different norms. Some have normal um, s- what is normal for some families are not normal for other families. Tandaan nyo yan, ha? Kaya, I remember this, my mom, hi mom, would always ask, bakit hindi nila naintindihan? Well, nakakainis talagang naintindihin yung ibang tao kasi mature na naman sila, dapat nagigets na. Pero in all honesty, because of the patterns, because of how they were raised, some things that are actually normal for many are not normal for some families or it's Greek to them. It's just not an acceptable thing. And even the issue of boundary, it's not an acceptable thing. So if you have issues of boundary issue with your family, then it will be hard. It will be hard to deal with it. So why is it that boundaries become a heavy issue? Because we have to remember, it was said by, I think it's Stephen Covey said that two Stephen, I think, yeah, it's Stephen Covey who said that we always have a circle of concern and a circle of influence. So the circle of concern is anything that is inside us. The circle of concern is anything. Circle of concern is a wide range of concerns that we as persons, individuals, are actually concerned about. But the other kind of circle, the outer circle, so anything that is inside us, happening inside us, is actually circle of concern natin yan. But the outer side, that's actually what we call the circle of influence. The problem is, let me just browse through. I just have some notes here. So, ano-ano yung mga circle of control natin, our own actions, our own thoughts, our own words, our own emotions, our mindset and perceptions, our belief system, our work ethic, and even the choices that we make, that's part of our circle of control. Because we are actually the one in control. So you cannot go on and say na, kasi siya, lagi na lang yung sinasabi sa akin, dapat ganito gawin ko. So, maybe it's true. But in all honesty, as adults, as fully functioning adults, we are supposed to be in control of their actions. The problem happens if we try to control people, yan, based on suggesting what they should do. And or so tayo yung we are trespassing the boundary of other people. That's why it causes a lot of stress. Kasi yung hindi natin nasa circle of concern, kino-concern natin. Let me blunt about it. The things that were not actually part of our concern, we're trying to be too concerned about it. So I have to reflect with you about this. Hindi natin kontrolado ang maraming bagay sa labas. So, paano kung sinasabi niya that I'm like this? Why are you letting it be a circle of why are you letting it penetrate your circle of control? Because you're letting the thoughts of this person penetrate you. So, concern mo ba siya? Concern mo yung sinabi niya, but how are you acting to it? That's our concern. But that's in our control. But another area is that we have the circle of there's the circle of concern in the middle, and outside is the circle of influence or the circle of concern. So, ibig sabihin, yung mga nasa labas natin, ito yung mga bagay na hindi natin kayang saklawan. Mga bagay na dinesisyonan natin dati, the weather, presyo ng onion, presyo ng bulaklak kahapon, and today, yung late na dumating na Grab, na Valentine's dinner nyo, outcomes of your project, the feedback of other people, traffic, yung headline. So, ayan, nasa circle of concern natin yan. Yes, concerned ka, pero hindi mo kontrolado. Are you getting it? Kaya siya circle of concern. Yung nasa gitna, so that's the outer circle. So imagine your circle of control is within the inner circle. That is what we can work on. And then the next thing is that the circle of influence, mga bagay na pwede tayong may magawa. Commitment natin. Diba? Mga how we deal with the people in our office. Choices of other people we can influence but we can never control. The thoughts and opinions of other people? Yes, we cannot control it, but we can actually influence it. Your reputation, other opinions of yourself, other people's opinion of you, and ating productivity at work, all these things. So, isipin nyo yan. Ang lagi, it's very good to reflect. Way back when I was a young guidance counselor, lagi kong sinasabi, pag nasistress na ako ng trabaho, is this in my control or not in my control? In my control or not? Can you put that in the chat? In my control or not? Why do I need to say that? Why do I need to ask that? It's very important. Kasi kailangan ko i-assess this sitwasyon na to. Kontrolado ka ba o hindi? Kung hindi, okay, wala akong magagawa. Okay, go back to boundary. Itong mismong circle of concern, circle of control, circle of influence, circle of concern, yan mismo may boundary sila sa isa't isa. Kaya tayo we get into stress, we encounter stress if we are trying to mismatch the boundary of this. So, kumbaga, pinoproblema mo yung weather. Ba't naman kasi umulan, nakakainis? E di magdala ka ng payong, ito ka lumabas. Pinoproblema mo ang taas ng presyo ng bilhin. You're fretting about, I think we encountered this during the start of the lockdown, which is almost 3 years already. So, nangyari sa atin yan. There's so many unforeseen things, but we want to be in control of the situation, but we cannot. So that's why it leads to anxiety, it leads to stress, it leads to so many unhealthy things. So lagay natin sa relasyon. Because of the circle of concern, circle of control, the problem with boundaries is we try to change things. Yung gusto nating saklawan ang mga bagay na hindi natin saklaw. Ito na lang, parents, if your kids are, you see, if you have teenagers, why are they reacting? Why they don't want to be told already, oy, dapat ito gawin mo. Yung bang, they don't want to be nag, they seem to be parang nag-iibang tao. Yes, developmentally, they're looking for who they are. That is why, in all due respect, kahit na we can only influence our teenagers and our kids, we can never live a life for them. We cannot tell them what course to take. We cannot tell them who to choose, but we can influence them or teach them what to take or who to choose, but we can never make the choices for them. Kaya yung mga parents, kung kayo pa rin yung gumagawa ng desisyon para sa mga anak nyo or kayong gumagawa ng projects para sa anak nyo, actually hindi nyo dapat yung concern. Kaya tayo nasa stress. So those things, pinanghihimasukan mo ang isang bagay na dapat dun sa tao. Kahit na sabihin nating mahal natin sila, we are actually removing the good opportunity for that person to become his or her own person, for that person to bloom, for that person to shine. Simply because you do want to be in control of the results. Ayaw mo na magkamaling results. So they're supposed to be, even if we love our family, even if you love your partner, we cannot control them. That's the saddest thing. That's the best thing. Ay, hindi kita kontrolado. Kaya pwede mo bang sabihin, bahala ka? Yes, lalo na kung ayaw makinig. Bahala ka. Kaya natin nasasabi yun, bahala ka. Pero sa tingin ko, it's like this. So, here. So, what do we need? What do we need? We need actually what is called relational self-awareness. We need to have a very high self-awareness, and we have to have a good deal of self-acceptance. Natanggapin natin ang mga bagay. Tanggapin natin kung kaya challenge to kung hanggang ngayon we're frustrated with the people around us or with the people we're dealing with. Alam mo nang ganito, bakit mo pa pinipilit? 'Di ba? So, well, and also, we need to check where we are in the relationship kasi baka ikaw yung nawawala in the process. So what are the problems in boundary setting? Can you give me a problem? No. I don't mean that way. Friends, can you just put there in the chat what are the problems that you encounter in terms of boundaries or loose boundaries? No boundaries at all. So kung ikaw mismo you experience a thing or two about relational boundaries, please put there what are the things that you are encountering. Ayan, thank you for saying. In-laws should not interfere and negatively influence marriage. Not in my control, but sometimes should call it out. Actually, I would agree with you. Next. So ito yung mga common na tanong ng Pinoy. Madalas tanongin ganito. In-laws should not is it selfish to put boundaries? Is it selfish to put boundaries? Sa tingin niyo, is it selfish to put boundaries? Kasi minsan, ano ba yan? Nagba-boundary setting? Ayoko nga ng ganyan. Is it selfish to put boundaries? Oh, that's correct. I see. Ministry, other members nag-overfunction. Alam mo, meron akong term dyan. You know, I'm in ministry also. But that is why it's very important to see the ministry, is it becoming a ministry? Ministry becoming me. Ang ganda yan pag tinanong. Is it selfish to put boundaries? Unahin natin. Is it selfish to put boundaries? Actually, depends on your intention. It's selfish because if it's for selfish intention, na gusto mo lang wala ka ng pakialam sa lahat. Ay, pagod na ako, ay, wala lang pake. So, that is maybe selfish intention. But if your intention is you're putting boundaries because you don't want to be spent, you want to give more for your kids. For example, at work, teka lang ha, I want to focus on my productivity. Itong mga projects ko, hindi ko maasikaso kasi ang daming mga other things that are assigned from time to time. I need to put boundary and say no na. It's not selfish. It's just that you just have to focus. For example, you're no longer well. Nagkakasakit ka na, tas oo ka pa ng oo. And then it's no longer okay. It's no longer a code. Boundaries need to be set. So, it's boundary setting also not taking the calls or just telling people, chat na lang. Yes, ako for me, yes. Kasi sometimes I really just cannot. even if I want to, but it's not selfish. It's just saving yourself because you would like to be better. You want to be well. And what if others call me, uh, call you out if you put boundaries? Somebody said that not in my control, but sometimes should call it out. Yes, lalo na kung ikaw naman yung sinasagasahan, di ba? People will always call you out. But when people say things about you, you have to reflect, is it your problem or their problem? Is it in my control or is this in the circle of my influence or my in the circle of my concern? Concern ko nga 'to, pero kontrolado ka ba? Hindi, hindi natin kontrolado. Hindi natin kontrolado kung kaya tayo nase-stress, ayaw natin may masabi madalas ang ibang tao, tama? Pero kung ano naman, may mga tao naman na damn if you do, damn if you don't. May gawin ka't wala, may masasabi pa rin. So, di ba? So, you just have to reflect that what they may say, it's not actually about you alone. It may say about how they deal with things maturely. Do they have the emotional maturity? Are they very understanding? Kung hindi nila maintindihan, either ayaw nilang intindihin or hindi ka nila talaga mahal kasi hindi ka nila sinusuportahan. So, is boundary setting um, being unloving or indifferent? No. If the intention is right, boundary setting is not unloving. It's also not being indifferent because boundaries are important. You don't put heavy boundaries. You don't put the Great Wall of China or the Berlin Wall in the boundary. What you put are flexible boundaries. Sa sitwasyon namin ngayon, ito ang kinakailangan. Ito lang yung parang maliit lang na ano yan, maliit lang na fence para alam niya kung ano yung akin at hindi. May pagkakataon sa buhay, ay wait, I just need to love from a distance first. Hindi ko kayang ibigay lahat kasi ito muna yung concern ko. So, you have to check where you're coming from. So, is it unloving? You have to check your heart. So, how do we learn to establish? What are the things that we should learn to put boundaries? One, know who you are really. As I said earlier, self-awareness is very critical. Importanteng kilala mo yung sarili mo. Alam mo na emosyon mo to. Alam mo na, okay, you're upset whenever this person reacts to you or say something about you. And then, you know how to let go and you know how to let the other person be. So you have to do that. You have to do that. Bye, sweetie. Love you. Um, so you can pass here. Sorry. It's my daughter. You can So, know who you are really. It's very critical. Like, evaluate mo, ito pa ba ako? Nasaan ba ako sa relasyon na to? Bakit paano ako dito sa relasyon? Parang hindi ko na makita yung gusto ko. Lagi na lang silang pinagbibigyan. Are you spreading yourself too thin? Are you actually um, becoming someone you no longer know? So that is very critical. Know who you are. Can you say, put that number one, know who you are. Second, know your inner posture in relationships. I would take it from here. Other members that go over function, it's very important. This is my word for it, ministry. Meron kasing mga tao, they claim that ako na nga lang lagi. Ako na nga lang gumawa, walang gagawa, ako na lang. It might be good, it might be well-meaning, but because they are empty inside, they want adoration. They're getting the sympathy of other people. Kaya it's not really about what they're doing, but it's actually about validating themselves through what they do. Yung bang marami kasing tao, pag hindi nila ginawa, feeling nila hindi sila importante. Kaya many people, uh, uh, like it. They love it. When they keep serving and serving, that's why you have to know your inner posture. Bakit ba ako nagsiserve? Bakit ko ba to ginagawa? Bakit pa kahit na sinasaktan na nila ako, bakit ayaw kong mag-no? Bakit ba kahit mag-no naman ako, ginagawa ko pa rin? Because you want to feel validated. You want to feel accepted. So, it's also checking, baby, your self-worth is actually dependent on what other people will say and think about you. That's why it's hard to say no. It's hard for many to say no if this is the case. So know your inner posture. Am I serving because this is really what I long to do? So I this is these 2 points I put it in my book. You can care for you. Know your inner posture. Are you loving and serving from a place of lack? Kasi kulang ka eh. Gusto mong punuin dun sa sasabihin nila. Gusto mong punuin kasi nagbibisi-bisihan ka sa mga bagay dyan sa periphery mo. You just hold on to too many concerns. You just join so many things because you want to have the busy badge, because you want to be filled, because you are already empty. You don't know your worth anymore if you don't keep doing, because there's no more boundary about who you are and about other people. But so know who you really are, know your inner posture, ano yung intention mo, bakit mo ginagawa mga bagay. And third, know your worth, your values and beliefs, which is very important. Know your worth, values and beliefs. Know your worth, values and beliefs. Friends, critical din to. Kilalanin mo kung ano yung, be clear with your values. Minsan, mami nagtanong sa akin, how can you just simply say no? How can you simply make a decision? I can do that because I'm clear with who I am, and I'm clear with my values, and I'm clear with my priorities. Okay? Hold on a minute. Sorry about that. Know your worth, values, and beliefs. You have to be really, really clear with yourself. Friends, importanteng klaro tayo. Kaya mas madaling magdesisyon, mas madaling gawin ng isang bagay kasi klaro tayo. So going back to my story, somebody told me, now I know why it's easy for you to say no. Yeah, it's easy for me to say no to some things because I am clear, ay hindi, mahalaga sa akin tong bagay na to eh. So dahil ito yung value, for example, value with family life, um, we it's easy for us to navigate a decision. Remember, family life yung value natin. So kailangan ko na merong nag-conflict dun sa activity ng daughter ko. Sorry. Mas madaling mahindian yung ibang bagay, or we don't need to spread ourselves too thin because clear sa atin yung value ng family. Another is value on well-being. Ay, makaka-apekto ba to sa tulog? Makaka-apekto ba to sa health? So pag yes yung sagot, you just have to remember. So it's easy for you to make decisions. So kung magalit yung ibang tao and yung boundaries will actually be masasagasaan ka with the many aspects of your life. Your boundary will actually be ruined because of that, and then you just have to make a decision that I need to set this boundary because my well-being is important with me. This relationship is important with me. Hindi na ako nagiging loving, nagiging ano na ako, nagiging bitch na ako. So, kailangan ko itong gawin. So, alam nyo, this is a lifetime of getting used to. But once you realize na hindi natin kontrolado lahat ng tao, it's easy for us to just let go. At hindi na rin tayo magpapaka-fret at magpapaka-stress. Um, it just might not be too popular, but I would like you to reflect that boundaries, kung may mga taong hindi talaga tayo makasundo, tama. Love from a distance, hindi ka naman minasama, hindi ka lang magbibigay ng lahat. Kung ang hiningi sa'yo, maybe 10 piso, bigay mo lang yung 2 piso from the heart. Kasi right now, yan lang ang kaya ko. Hindi mo kailangang ibigay lahat. Pag may narinig ka, ngiti na lang tayo. Kasi part yun ng buhay. Part yun ng buhay. Differences, disharmony, conflicts, challenges, it's like that. And there's a lot of differences with people around us. So you just have to really learn to establish better boundaries. So, hindi mo kailangan i-chat lahat ng tao na nag-chat sa'yo. Hindi mo kailangan oohan lahat na nag invite sa'yo. Hindi lahat ng mukhang mahal ka ay totoong may concern sa'yo. Yung iba curious lang. Yung iba marites lang. So, choose the right people and relate with the people you love most. But even with the people you love most, you still choose to put healthy boundaries because you don't, tama ka dyan, friend. I need to set this boundary. I don't need to explain this boundary. Wag mo nang sabihin na, ay, nagba-boundary setting ako sa'yo eh. Para sa kapakanan ko rin to. Hindi mo na ako na-explain. Away yung ini-invite mo dyan, di ba? Pag yun ang ginawa mo, away yung ini-invite mo. So, do set boundaries. Even with your closest relationship, pag kinakailangan, you do that. So that you can bounce back to be more loving and to be a better person. Kung you're being eaten up by anger, by stress, everything, even if you're being eaten up by irritation and frustration with the people around you, set the right boundaries because it's life-saving and it's also life-giving for yourself and for them. Para ba gusto rin nila yun na lumalayo ka minsan, hindi mo sasaklawan lahat. Probably. So, friends, I hope that this episode has helped you. It's hard to put boundaries, but I'm going back. This is actually for our sanity, and this is actually for the best of health of our loved ones and for healthier relationships, especially in this time of the love month. So, magandang hapon. This is Dr. Michele Alignay. Thank you for being here, and I hope that you support Coffee Break. Thank you for all those who send stars. Thank you, Sis Mara, and thank you to Roderick for sending stars. And if you feel that you need to support this mission, you can send stars, or you can just send me a message to get our GCash details. Magandang araw sa inyo. See you again next week for another episode for this series Love and Wellbeing series here at Coffee Break with Dr. Michele.